Have you ever wondered how a simple roll of silk, a pinch of pepper, or a bag of salt could change the world? For thousands of years, long before the internet or airplanes, a complex web of trade routes connected distant civilizations, shaping the course of human history. These weren't just roads for buying and selling, they were superhighways for ideas, beliefs, technologies, and cultures. Today, we're embarking on a journey across continents and centuries to explore the trade routes that built our world. Let's start with perhaps the most famous of all, the Silk Road. Spanning from the 2nd century BCE to the 15th century CE, this legendary network wasn't a single road, but a vast web of paths connecting China with the Mediterranean. Caravans of camels braved treacherous deserts and towering mountains, carrying precious silk westward. In return, goods like gold, glass, and wine flowed east. But the real treasure of the Silk Road was knowledge. Papermaking and printing technology traveled from China to the West, while religions like Buddhism journeyed from India to East Asia, transforming societies along the way. It was the world's first great cultural exchange, laying the foundation for a truly global community. Now, let's travel south to the vast expanse of the Sahara Desert. From the 7th to the 16th century, the Trans-Saharan trade routes were the lifeblood of West Africa. The most valuable commodities, gold and salt. Salt, mined in the northern desert, was so precious it was sometimes traded for its weight in gold, which came from the rich mines of West Africa. This incredible wealth fueled the rise of mighty empires like Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. Cities like Timbuktu became legendary centers of commerce and Islamic scholarship, as the trade routes also brought the faith of Islam deep into the African continent, forever changing its cultural and religious landscape. While camels crossed the deserts, ships were mastering the oceans. The Indian Ocean Trade Network was a maritime marvel, connecting East Africa, Arabia, India, and Southeast Asia as early as the 1st century CE. Relying on the predictable monsoon winds, sailors transported spices, textiles, and precious stones across the vast sea. This trade didn't just move goods, it built empires. The Swahili city-states on the African coast, the Chola Empire in India, and the Srivijaya Empire in Indonesia all grew powerful by controlling these sea lanes. This maritime highway also spread Hinduism, Buddhism, and later, Islam, creating a vibrant, multicultural world connected by the waves. Closer to Europe, the Mediterranean Sea was a bustling hub of commerce for ancient civilizations. The Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians all built their power on the back of Mediterranean trade. Ships laden with olive oil, wine, grain, and pottery crisscrossed the sea, connecting diverse cultures. This constant interaction helped spread Greek philosophy and Roman law across the region, creating a shared cultural identity. It was also through these sea lanes that Christianity, born in a corner of the Roman Empire, spread to become a world religion, demonstrating how trade routes could carry faith just as effectively as they carried cargo. Then, in the 15th century, the world map was redrawn. The age of exploration opened up the vast Atlantic Ocean, creating new and momentous trade routes. The Atlantic trade routes connected Europe, Africa, and the Americas in what became known as the triangular trade. European ships carried manufactured goods to Africa, where they were exchanged for enslaved people. These captives were then forced across the brutal Middle Passage to the Americas to labor on plantations producing sugar, tobacco, and cotton. These raw materials were then shipped back to Europe, generating immense wealth for colonial powers. This system had a devastating and profound impact, shaping the economies, societies, and demographics of 3 continents for centuries to come. Let's rewind a bit to an ancient and fragrant path. The incense route. From the 3rd century BC, this route transported frankincense and aromatic resins prized for religious ceremonies and perfumes from southern Arabia to the Mediterranean world. The immense profits from this trade led to the rise of prosperous kingdoms in the Arabian Peninsula. Like other routes, it was also a conduit for culture and religion, playing a role in the early spread of Christianity and linking the economies of the East and West. Spices have always been a powerful motivator for trade, leading to the creation of the spice routes. For centuries, spices like pepper, cloves, and cinnamon from Southeast Asia, known as the Spice Islands, made a long and perilous journey overland and by sea to reach kitchens and apothecaries in Europe. The desire to control this incredibly lucrative trade and cut out the middlemen drove European explorers to seek direct sea routes to Asia. This quest, led by nations like Portugal and Spain, ultimately kicked off the age of discovery and reshaped global power dynamics. It's important to remember that extensive trade networks also existed long before European contact in the Americas and the Pacific. The Aztec and Inca empires had sophisticated trade systems, and indigenous groups across North America traded goods like obsidian, shells, and turquoise over vast distances. Similarly, the Pacific Ocean was not a barrier but a bridge for peoples in Oceania and Southeast Asia, who exchanged goods, people, and ideas across its islands for millennia. So, what's the big takeaway? These ancient routes were far more than just commercial highways. They were the world's original social networks. Along with silks and spices, they carried ideas that sparked renaissances, technologies like gunpowder that changed warfare, and religions that reshaped societies. The compass, paper, and printing press all traveled along these paths, accelerating human progress. Eventually, many of these classic overland routes, like the Silk Road, declined as maritime trade grew more dominant. The dawn of European colonial empires in the 5th, 10th, and 16th centuries shifted the world's economic center of gravity towards the Atlantic. But the legacy of these ancient networks endures. The paths they carved and the connections they forged laid the groundwork for the globalized world we live in today. The next time you enjoy a cup of tea or season your food, take a moment to think about the incredible journey those ingredients might have taken, following in the footsteps of ancient traders who connected our world. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey through history fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories about how our world came to be. See you next time.